Welcome back to Recap Noob. Spoiler alert, this summary reveals the plot of the movie. A mysterious scientist, Dr. Voyam, has created a new experiment. He offers a couple $5 million if they can stay in an absolutely spotless room for 50 days. However, if one of them leaves, the prize drops to $1 million. There's no contact with the outside world, no entertainment, just each other's company. But they can use some of the prize money to buy treats if they want. Today's couple is Mike and Kate, who think this is easy money. Mike believes they're lucky to have found this opportunity, and Kate sees it as the second chance she deserves. She also suggests that they should split the prize money up front to make things easier. Her plan is to invest the money, which Mike finds extremely boring. Mike envisions his future filled with partying and fun, where he never has to worry about money again. The voice of the artificial intelligence reminds them of the rules. They then take a look around the room and realize the word immaculate wasn't a joke. Everything is white, and the room only has a bed, a bench, and a simple bathroom. The bathroom comes with a rule. Only one person can use it at a time. There's also a red button they can press if they want to leave. A touch screen lets them order treats, and a large clock above the exit door counts down the time they have left. Their food is designed to meet their daily nutritional needs and comes in the form of a bland white shake, served in a white box. The room also has automatic lights that change throughout the day, signaling morning, afternoon, evening, and night. This is their cue to go to sleep. They can set alarms using the touchscreen. While Mike wants to treat this like a vacation and sleep in, Kate sets an early alarm to keep a routine. On the first night, Mike tries to get closer to Kate, but she feels like the professor might be watching them. However, after some convincing from Mike, they quietly get intimate under the blankets. The next morning, Kate goes to the bathroom, looks at herself in the mirror, and says some positive affirmations to keep herself motivated and remind herself of her goals. After both of them take a shower, they toss their clothes into the laundry chute in the bathroom and receive very basic pajamas in return, though at least these have a little color. To keep themselves busy, Kate tries to figure out why Voyam is conducting this experiment, while Mike tells her about a documentary he watched on one of Voyam's previous experiments, which ended in tragedy for a poor family. No one really knows why Voyam does all this. They just know he has a lot of money and enjoys putting people in strange situations because he's fascinated by human behavior. Finding ways to entertain themselves becomes a problem much sooner than they expected. Kate enjoys meditating, while Mike often stares at the clock or starts philosophizing about random things, like the meaning of the color white, analyzing it with all his art school knowledge, or even discussing which direction they should brush their teeth. Kate constantly reminds him not to stare at the clock and to focus on the prize. But staying positive is tough when Mike can't even sleep properly. Kate, however, sticks to her routine of saying positive affirmations and making the bed. She also tries to keep Mike's spirits up. While Kate meditates, Mike mostly exercises by running in place. Together, they play simple games like clapping, hide and seek, and even pretend rituals. Whenever they change out of their dirty pajamas, they get an identical pair of clean ones. Weeks pass by. Finally, something different happens. Mike finds a bug that has somehow gotten into the room. After talking to it affectionately, he tries to feed it a bit of their meal shake. But as soon as he lets a few drops at the floor, the AI voice reminds him that food is only for the participants' consumption. Fearing the bug won't survive in the room, Mike asks if there's a way to release it, promising that he doesn't want to leave the experiment. Kate explains that the speaker the AI uses isn't two-way. She's already tried. Frustrated, Mike decides he's going to press the red button to open the door. This leads to an argument, as Kate is convinced pressing the button will make them lose the challenge. Even though Mike doesn't actually leave the room and just sticks his hand out for the sake of a silly bug after setting it down, he tells Kate that the bug is still a living creature and accuses her of lacking compassion. In response, Kate sarcastically reminds him that he's not even a vegetarian like she is. As the argument escalates, Kate eventually admits that she thinks Mike only became a vegetarian to spite his rich father, who gave him everything he ever needed. She accuses him of never experiencing hardship and only pretending to be an art lover to look interesting. Trying to walk away from the argument, Kate accidentally steps on the bug. Mike is shocked and can't believe it, while Kate insists it was an accident and apologizes. Mike spends the rest of the day sitting sadly in a corner. Eventually, He decides that doing nothing isn't healthy and suggests they use one of their treats, even though it will cost them $100,000 from the prize money. Kate disagrees, but Mike doesn't need her permission. He orders his treat, which turns out to be a green crayon. It's not much, but at least now Mike can create art on the walls. After watching him draw for a while, Kate asks him to sketch her and Mike agrees. However, he refuses to make a realistic portrait because he finds them boring. He sticks to his abstract style, causing Kate to lose interest in modeling for him. Mike continues to draw until the crayon runs out, but Kate gets angry when she finds green stains on the bathroom and towel left on the floor. Later, Kate apologizes for being harsh and admits that this experience is harder than she thought it would be. At least, she says, they only have 20 days left. The days drag on in boredom until one morning, they find a gun in the bathroom. They are too scared to check if it's loaded, and its presence terrifies them. They decide to hide it under the bed, as the AI warns them not to put anything other than clothes into the laundry chute. Sometime later, the couple finally receives a Connect Time reward, which plays messages from their loved ones. Mike receives a message from his sister, who shares how she and their parents are doing. However, she also mentions that Mike isn't dating Kate anymore. While Mike feels happy to see his sister, Kate doesn't want to build a relationship with his family and gets upset when Mike's father's video pops up. He is now living in a shelter after losing his home. Despite Mike's attempts to turn off the video, Kate hides behind the bathroom door and starts to cry. Mike goes to comfort her. After curling up with her boyfriend, Kate doesn't wake up when the alarm goes off and spends a whole day in bed because she's fallen into a depression. When Mike expresses his concern, Kate reveals that she hasn't seen her father in years and has always lied to Mike about him. She feels ashamed of her father and his drinking problem, which led to losing their home, her school fees, and a chance at a normal life. Now, with less than 2 weeks left, Kate still stays in bed while Mike looks for new ways to entertain himself. He smudges his crayon drawings with his fingers and reads the tags on his pajamas in different funny voices. He tries to cheer Kate up by pretending to feed her like in an acting exercise, but it doesn't help. Eventually, he climbs into bed next to her, hoping to comfort her. Still, it doesn't make a difference, and sometimes Mike sleeps on the floor just to feel something different. One morning, he tries to convince Kate to get up for breakfast, but she refuses, wanting to save money. Frustrated, Mike says he might not be able to keep doing this for much longer, and finally, Kate decides to get out of bed. Before taking a shower, she tells Mike to go ahead and order his second breakfast, even if it costs $100,000. Mike is shocked when the door opens, and a naked woman named Simone walks in. She knows nothing about the project. She's just an actress who got paid for a gig that involves signing lots of confidentiality agreements and NDAs. Though she was hired for a month, her agent told her she might only stay for 24 hours. Kate is not at all pleased with Simone's presence, and Mike gives her a t-shirt so that Simone can cover herself a bit. Simone admires Mike's art and even recognizes its influence, which makes Kate even angrier. When night falls, Mike offers to sleep on the floor while the girls take the bed. Simone says she'll keep watch while they sleep. Kate gets annoyed at their politeness and suggests that all three of them can sleep in the bed as long as she sleeps in the middle. That night, it's actually Kate who can't fall asleep. In the morning, Kate notices that Simone is not in bed and thinks she must have left. However, Kate's inability to cope leads her to decide to order a treat. She ends up with a small box of 3 fun candies. She quickly takes one and gives one to Simone, but Mike hesitates before taking his. The 3 of them start dancing and jumping around the room, even sharing some group kisses. However, after a while, Mike begins to feel uneasy. He sees blood everywhere and has a dream where he's underwater with his younger brother falling alongside him. Both women bring Mike back to reality, but he's still panicking and talks about drowning and wanting to leave. Kate has to take him back to bed and comfort him until he falls asleep. Later, Simone asks what Mike was talking about, and Kate explains that Mike's little brother, Sean, drowned in the family pool when Mike was supposed to be watching him. Because of this, Mike still feels guilty. At that time, Mike was drunk, which makes everything worse and explains why he hesitated to take the candy. Simone asks how they met, and Kate remembers that on a rainy day, she didn't have an umbrella, and Mike came over and said he would catch all the raindrops in his hands so she wouldn't get wet. When Mike finally wakes up, Simone shares that she lost her mother when she was young, creating a bond between them over their shared grief and lost loved ones. To comfort Mike, Simone takes his hand, and when Kate sees this, she gets anxious, thinking that Simone wants to steal her boyfriend away. Simone exposes Kate's behavior, explaining that she gets angry because she feels insecure, which sparks a heated argument. Mike tries to intervene and calm them down before walking away. Kate attempts to apologize, believing she may have misinterpreted the situation, but Simone adds fuel to the fire by suggesting that Kate might not have been wrong. The next morning, Mike is feeling unwell, while Kate seems preoccupied with other thoughts. Simone has finally left, but she has left a message on the wall thanking Mike for the wild night. This angers Kate even more. She refuses to listen to Mike's defense that he did nothing wrong, equating the situation to the gun they found in the room. In a fit of rage, Kate pushes Mike, causing him to fall and hit his head, which begins to bleed. Mike distances himself, reminding Kate that he has never cheated on her, not even when she moved to New York. He even cut off ties with his wealthy friends so she wouldn't feel uncomfortable, and he sacrificed his education to be there for her during her depression. Yet all he received in return was jealousy. Kate repeatedly apologizes in tears, but their conversation halts when Mike starts feeling dizzy from his injury. He seriously contemplates that he might need medical attention, but Kate only brings him a sugary drink to stabilize his blood sugar and covers his wound with a towel. She reminds him that their contract states they won't receive money from medical help. Mike struggles to believe what he's hearing and begins to doubt if Kate truly cares for him. Although his wound is minor and the bleeding eventually stops, he fears what lengths Kate might go to save money if it had been more serious. Perhaps she would have let him bleed out. The experience highlights how this situation has changed them both, making him realize that money cannot fix their broken relationship. Frustrated with the whole situation, Mike decides he wants to leave and urges Kate to come with him. However, she refuses, claiming it's easy for him to say because he has always had money. In a moment of desperation, she even brandishes the gun to emphasize her point. Despite Kate's warnings, Mike ignores her and presses the button. Just a few days before their challenge ends, he finally decides to leave the room. After feeling anxious for a long time, he looks at the drawing of raindrops on the wall, which inspires him to think about his options since only 2 days are left. Months later, while Mike is jogging, he spots Kate coming out of a building. They haven't seen each other since leaving the room, so they decide to walk and catch up. When Mike asks Kate if she left the room or won, she avoids the question. Still, she apologizes for everything that happened between them. As they walk, they come across a shelter, marked with a sign stating that a mysterious donation helped build a new kitchen. Meanwhile, a new couple arrives to take on the challenge in the now tidy room. The film ends on this scene. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe. See you in the next video.